Welcome back to the ball game, ladies and gentlemen. It's getting ready to begin the top of the fourth inning here at VA Memorial Stadium. This is Adam Sitchko behind the microphone for the middle three innings in tonight's contest. So far, things have not worked the Paints' way in this contest as they are down 4-0 to the visiting Florence Freedom as we are getting ready to begin the top half of the fourth inning. Third baseman Jeremy Eisen to the plate. He'll start the Florence offense in the fourth. He also started the offense for Florence in the second inning with a long solo home run that gave Florence an early 1-0 lead, which as of yet they have not relinquished. Paints starting pitcher Michael Keston into the windup, and his first pitch is low and inside, ball one. 1-0 the count to Eisen. In the right-hander's batter's box as the lefty Keston winds and deals. This one swung on, lifted to right side, but out of play. And that evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike.
That one fell earlier in the year was worse.
Paints infield playing back at the edge of the outfield grass. Outfield straightaway, fairly deep. Keston into the windup. The 1-1 swung on and missed. Took a little bit off that pitch and hit a good down and in spot from his catcher Tony Costantino for strike two. Keston looks in for the sign. Now he's into the windup. Breaking ball for strike three called on the outside corner. Keston picks up the strikeout to start the top of the fourth inning. That's Keston's fourth strikeout on the year. Overall, his 114th of the Frontier League season, increasing his lead in the Frontier League strikeout leader category. He's now by 14 on second place pitcher Grant Williams for Evansville has an even 100. One down now in the top of the fourth for second baseman Zach Schmidt. Schmidt climbs into the right-hander's batter's box and takes ball one upstairs, 1-0 the count. Schmidt on the evening 0 for 1. He grounded out to Chillicothe's second baseman Doug Dreher in his only trip to the plate thus far. The 1-0 pitch swung on and missed, and that will even the count at 1-1. Schmidt, the number 7 hitter in the Florence batting order tonight. He'll be followed by catcher Steve Pickrell, who awaits in the on-deck circle, and following him is number 9 hitter and center fielder tonight, Tim Turner. The 1-1 pitch misses off the outside edge, and that evens the count at 2-1. Keston in the windup, he delivers. Fastball misses off the outside edge again. He hit the mid of catcher Tony Costantino right on the mark. But home plate umpire Bruce Doan saying that was just a little bit off the outside edge. Keston now behind in the count, 3-1 to the batter Schmidt. The 3-1, that one's over the strike zone. And that is good for strike two. The count is full. Keston into the windup. Here's the payoff pitch. Strike three called. Rung him up on the outside corner. Steve Pickrell exchanging a few words with Bruce Doan at home plate. He's not happy. Didn't even offer at that pitch, but back-to-back strikeouts to start the top of the fourth for Michael Keston. His fifth strikeout on the night, and with 2 outs, that brings up catcher Steve Pickrell. And before a pitch can be made, Pickrell calls time at home plate to set things up on his end of this pitcher-hitter matchup. So back-to-back strikeouts, that's a good sign for Keston. Maybe he's going to settle down a little bit in this ball game. He delivers strike one on the outer half of the plate. He's had his hard spots the first 3 innings of play, giving up 4 earned runs. And this pitch swung on and missed from Pickrell, and that moves the count to 0-2. He's given up 4 runs, not all of them earned. He has given up a home run. Florence has taken advantage of some wild pitches and several hit batsmen. This pitch swung on and lifted to the gap in right center field. Right field, that's going to be Mike Spry. He'll make the catch, and that ends the Florence half of the fourth in a 1-2-3 fashion. No runs, no hits, and no runners left on base. Chilicothe coming to the plate when we return. It's 4-0 Florence. You're listening to Paints Baseball on WXIZ. It's Chilicothe bat heated things up here in the bottom of the previous inning on a solo home run from DH Rich Foley. Right now, it's Paints left-hander Michael Keston on the hill to start the top of the fifth, and that is ball one. The number 9 hitter and center fielder in tonight's contest for the Florence Freedom, Tim Turner. This breaking ball misses down and inside. 2-0 the count to Turner. Turner entered tonight's contest as a .267 hitter with 4 hits in his previous 15 at-bats. No home runs and 2 RBIs. This pitch foul tipped into the mitt of catcher Tony Cosentino for strike 1. 2-1 to count to Tim Turner. Keith Stegbaum waiting on deck. This one swung on, ground down the third base line. Cosentino has it, spins, throws, but that's not going to be nearly in time to get the runner at first base. Would have been a very, very difficult play for Cosentino to make on a slow number rolling just fair down the third baseline. Cosentino actually kicked up some chalk as he grabbed it with his bare hand, then spun around to throw to Paints first baseman Dustin Brisson. Cosentino threw a bullet to first base, but it was way off the bag, and Turner, with his speed, would have been safe anyway. So the Freedom pick up their 4th hit of the night, and they lead it 4-1 here at the top of the 5th. Scoring the bunt, but fouling it back to the screen is the current hitter and DH tonight, Keith Stegbaum. Stegbaum now in his 3rd at-bat of the night. He struck out looking in the top of the 1st inning, and then worked a 9-pitch at-bat in the 3rd inning where he was ultimately hit by a pitch and would come around to score on a wild pitch from Michael Keston. Now Keston throws over to first base, but Turner is back standing. Keston working from the stretch position with a runner on first. Brisson is holding him on that bag as third baseman Jose Rodriguez plays in on the infield grass. Stegbaum checks his swing, but that's strike 2 called. And he's now down to the count, no balls and 2 strikes, with shortstop Mike Athos awaiting on deck. Keston had 3 wild pitches and 2 hit batters in a 3-run 3rd inning for the Freedom that put them up 4-0 at that point, as Keston snaps a sidearm throw over to first base, but once again Tim Turner is back standing. So Keston clearly struggling with his control in that frame, as he has for the last couple starts. Runner goes, throw down to second base, not nearly in time. So Tim Turner safe at second base with the stolen base, as Stegbaum goes down looking at strike 3. Stegbaum is the 6th strikeout victim of the night from Michael Keston. Stegbaum has now struck out twice on the evening against Keston. Tim Turner advancing to second base on the stolen base. That's his 2nd swipe bag of the year, and now the Freedom have a runner in scoring position with 1 down. Breaking ball catches the inside corner to the current hitter, Mike Athos. Move the count to 0-1. Athos, the right-handed hitter, singled in the 3rd inning, would ultimately advance to 3rd on a wild pitch, and he would come around to score one of 3 Florence runs in the inning that gave them what was at that time a 4-0 advantage through 3 innings. As Keston delivers strike 2, 0-2 the count. Chilicothe, however, picked up its first run of the ball game in the bottom of the 4th on a solo home run to right field off the bat of Rich Foley. Mike Athos won't get any part of his baseball bat on that pitch as he swings and misses at strike 3 from Michael Keston. Back-to-back 1-out strikeouts for the Paints left-handed starting pitcher. And now there are 2 outs in the inning for the left fielder, Tom Crichton. Beg your pardon, Matt Singer has the plate. Singer was substituted in the bottom of the 4th inning for what was the starting left fielder, Tom Crichton. Singer on the season a .266 hitter with 68 hits on the year, 4 home runs and 23 RBIs. This time, however, he comes up empty, and the count is 0-1. Left-hander against left-hander. Singer batting with a runner on second base and 2 down the pitch. Another fastball. This one is also a strike. And Singer quickly down the count, no balls and 2 strikes to Michael Keston. Over his last 10 games, Singer hitting just .231 with no homers and 1 RBI. He swings and misses, strike 3. Michael Keston strikes out the side after giving up a leadoff single. We are halfway in the books here at VA Memorial Stadium. Your score, the Florence Freedom 4, the Chilicothe Paints 1. We'll be right back after this commercial break. You're listening to Paints Baseball on WXIZ. Well, ladies and gentlemen, no matter how many commercials we run on WXIZ, they are still taking their time getting the second of 2 car giveaways off the playing field. That one, a 1990 Buick LeSabre. That reminds me that the Norse family of dealerships, who sponsors the car giveaways here on Winning Wednesday, They are also the official automobile supplier of the Chilicothe Paints. You can reach Norse by calling them at 773-7913. Give you a quick game recap while Paints starting pitcher Michael Keston finishes his warm-up tosses. The Freedom are ahead by a 4-1 tally as we are ready to begin the top of the sixth inning. Florence with 4 runs on 4 hits and 1 error. Chilicothe with 1 run on 6 hits and no defensive errors. Florence picked up its first run of the ball game on a solo home run from Jeremy Eisen in the second inning, then proceeded to score 3 runs in the next inning, being helped along the way by 3 wild pitches and 2 hit batsmen, courtesy of Paints starting pitcher Michael Keston. At the end of 3 innings, it was 4-0 Florence. Keston was struggling, and the Chilicothe offense had mustered no runs on 4 hits. In the 4th inning, they broke through a little bit as Rich Foley, the DH in tonight's contest, launched a solo home run to right field to put Chilicothe on the scoreboard in the run department and cut into the Freedom lead to make it your current 4-1 margin here at VA Memorial Stadium. Adam Stitchko once again behind the microphone in the 6th inning. Regular play-by-play man Ryan Mitchell is wrapping up his dinner right now, and he will be ready to join all of you listening once the 7th inning begins. In the meantime, it's the number 4, 5, and 6 hitters for the Florence Freedom to the plate, started with first baseman Kyle Levengood here in the top of the 6th inning. Michael Keston, as I mentioned, uncharacteristic wildness in the 3rd inning with 3 wild pitches and 2 hit batters. Since then, he's really settled down. He has faced just 7 hitters and has struck out 5 of those 7. He struck out the side in the top of the last inning after giving up a leadoff single. So Keston remains on the hill. He's had his fair share of subpar outings lately. In his last 5 games, his win-loss record is 1-5. And he's seen his ERA rise from 1.76 to the 2.71 mark that it was at before he entered tonight's game. Levengood swings and misses at a high fastball for strike 1. All of the runs for Florence tonight are earned for Keston, so that 2.71 ERA has only gone up since he started tonight's ball game. He rocks into motion, and his 0-1 pitch misses for ball 1. As I mentioned, he gave up the solo home run, and then the Freedom using a combination of hits, batmen, and wild pitches to plate 3 runs in the 3rd. This one swung on and lifted to straightaway center field. Darren Heath, he is back, and now he takes a few steps in to make the catch for out number 1 here in the 6th inning. Keston came in at an even 6-6 on the year, but again, he's lost his last 3 decisions. Right now, he's slated to get what would be his 4th loss in a row if his Chilicothe offense can't bail him out over the last 4 frames in tonight's ball game. Right now, the number 5 hitter, T. Thomas, at the plate. The right fielder is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. He squares the bunt, but he pulls back, and he's a little angry at himself. That was a fastball right down the plate, but Thomas elected to pull the bat back, and that's strike 1. Keston working quickly with Rodriguez, his 3rd baseman, pulled in on the edge of the grass. That pitch is a strike called. T. Thomas didn't offer at it, but it is strike 2. 0-2 the count for the Florence right fielder, with 3rd baseman Jeremy Eisen in the on-deck circle. Breaking ball swung on and missed, strike 3. Michael Keston continues to throw well here in the last 3 innings, picking up his 9th strikeout of the evening. He's struck out 4 of his last 5 batters that he's faced. Dating back to the top of the 5th inning, that's the 2nd time he's struck out Thomas tonight. The only 2 Freedom batters without a strikeout are the number 8 and 9 hitters, Steve Pickrell and Tim Turner. This time around, 2 down, bases empty in the top of the 6th inning for Jeremy Eisen. It didn't matter that the bases were empty in the top of the 2nd inning when Eisen came to the plate, as he hit a solo home run to put the Florence Freedom on the scoreboard first. This time he takes a strike called, 0-1 the count. Eisen, however, as has been the case for much of the Florence Freedom batting order, has struck out against Michael Keston tonight. This time he tries to check and swing, and he does successfully, says bases umpire Max McCleary. And that evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. This one swung on and found out a play, and that'll make the count 1-2. Eisen has hit very well against the Paints so far this season. He's batting .370 against Chilicothe. He hit his 2nd home run against the Paints in tonight's ball game to give Florence an early 1-0 lead that they have not since relinquished. This one swung on and foul-tipped into the mid of Constantino for strike 3. Keston strikes out another batter, his 10th on the evening, and the Florence Freedom are retired in order. It's still 4-1 Florence here in the middle of the 6th. We'll be right back. This is Paints Baseball. You're listening to 100.9 WXIZ.
Remodeling your kitchen and bath is one of the best.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Top of the 7th inning. Ryan Mitchell back here for the play-by-play for the final third of the ball game. Chilicothe Paints have some work ahead of them. Michael Keston has been fantastic since allowing 3 runs in the 3rd inning. He struck out 7 of the 10 batters he's faced. He's given up 1 home run. The other 2 outs by way of the flyout. Swing and a miss. True to form, Zach Schmidt. Down 0-1. 4-1 advantage for the Florence Freedom. Right-handed batter, left-handed pitcher. Keston working very quickly, lines and deals. Swing and a miss, overpowering fastball. Whatever Michael Keston lost in the 3rd inning, he found as the Paints were batting in the bottom half of the 3rd, as he has been dominating and dirty 4, 5, and 6, and starting off here in the 7th. Swing and a miss. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, Zach Schmidt. That is the 11th strikeout for Michael Keston. And that is a new season high for a single game. He struck out 10 twice. Once against Evansville back on the 19th of June. And he struck out 10 Florence Freedom on the 5th of July. Hop up. Foul territory on the first base side. This is going to get out of play. And it'll be an 0-1 count. Steve Pickerel singled and scored in that big 3rd inning. Since then flied out. And he's down in the count here 0-1. Michael Keston, the big left-hander out of Bellflower, California. Ahead in the count 0-1. Paints need to get some runs behind him, though. Here's a swing and a miss. He's just had fantastic movement on all of his pitches. Tim Turner in the on-deck circle. This one's just outside. No, called a strike over the outside corner. The check swing was appealed, and it's strike 3 to Pickerel. 12 strikeouts now for Keston. Paints scored their only run on a home run by Rich Poley in the 4th inning. They have 3 more turns to the plate to try and score 3 runs, and if Michael Keston can hold Florence down the way he has. Tim Turner, 1 for 1 officially. A sacrifice bunt in the 3rd. Singled his last time up. He grounds this one to the right side. Past Doug Dreyer for another single. 2 for 2. The only Florence Freedom with more than 1 hit in the ball game. That's just their 5th hit overall. They have 4 runs on 5 hits. They've committed an error. The Paints have 1 run on 7 hits, and they've committed no errors. One of the big differences here for Keston tonight as well is he has not walked batters. He was a bit wild in that 3rd inning. Even though he was ahead of every batter, he hit 2 and threw a wild pitch that allowed a run to score. Runner in motion. The pitch is called a strike, and Tony Cosentino doesn't even look down to second base. That'd be a stolen base or defensive indifference. Stolen base is the call. This one is just outside the strike zone. A 1-1 count now to Keith Stegbar. 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts, caught looking both times. His middle at bat, he was hit by a pitch and came around to score. Chops this one foul. And the count against him 1-2 now. Taking some practice cuts to try and slow down Michael Keston, who's been working at a furious pace. Wind barely stirring here at the VA. 2 down, the 1-2 pitch. Strike 3 over the outside corner. Keston strikes out the side around a single by Tim Turner. Florence still leads, though, 4-1 as we move to the bottom of the 7th. It's stretch time at VA Memorial Stadium. Back after this, you're listening to WXIZ.
Finest printing services. Printex can print almost anything with
The Chilicothe Paints still trailed by a run after a 2-run 7th inning. And the only thing between a 4-3 deficit and a 5-3 lead is Matt Singer in left field making a fantastic catch, a diving catch over towards the line. If he misses that ball, 2 runs score and the Paints are still batting. Michael Keston comes to the plate, or out to the mound rather, against Mike Athas, deals the first pitch upstairs, and it's a 1-0 count. Athas 1 for 3 with a run scored tonight. Here's a foul ball on the screen, a 1-1 count. Keston has struck out multiple batters in each of the last 4 innings. He has not gone an inning without a strikeout. He has 13 on the night. That marks a season high for him. Swing and a miss at a high fastball. It's 1-2. Keston came into the ball game with 110, now has 123. Already leading the league. Grant Williams, the only other pitcher with 100. Mark Hamilton still third in the league with 95, and he has the second best earned run average at 2 1/4. Here's a foul ball. The one hops up into the stables. Hope everybody got out of the way down there. Count still 1-2. Keston had to sit down for quite a while there in the 7th inning. One of the things that might be a drawback to scoring that many runs and not taking the lead is Keston had to sit down, and it might shake up his rhythm a little bit. They sent 7 men to the plate in that 7th inning, culminating in a 2-run single off the bat of Doug Dreher. Mike Athas had to go back and get a new piece of lumber. Fans like to remind you that Horizon Long Distance is the official long-distance carrier of the Chilicothe Paints, and Horizon Technology provides the internet broadcast. You can reach them both at 772-8771. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Slider upstairs. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Also, Budweiser's the official beer of the Chilicothe Paints. Now 774-2831 and get you some Bud. It's the king of beers. Here's one fouled away. Staying alive is Athas. Struck out his last time up. Final game of the series and the homestand tomorrow. It's Pike County night, also a Thursday. Pepsi products $1 throughout the ball game. That brought to you by Pepsi. This pitch just down and in. Now a full count to Athas. Keston has not walked a batter yet. He's gone to a couple of full counts. Here's a broken bat out towards the first baseman. Dustin Rasan, did he make the catch? Yes, he did, says Max McCleary. And that is out number 1. Good hustle by the first baseman. Now Matt Singer.
Number 17, the left fielder, Matt Singer.
Singer has struck out his first time up, hitting for Tom Creighton, who was hit on the hand in the 3rd inning and hit on the knee. First pitch to him is upstairs, ball 1. Justin Ray Schulte will move into the number 1 spot in the batting order. Keith Stegbauer is done for the night. Here's a high fly ball to right field. On the run is Spry. It's over his head and off the wall. He takes it on the carom, and it will be a stand-up double. There has not been an extra base hit off of Michael Keston since the 2nd inning. Jeremy Eisen hit a solo home run to start the scoring on the night. Going to get some action down in the Chilicothe bullpen. Looks like Mike Gitz will be warmed up. Charlie Drummond heads down there. The evening has turned a bit cool here in Chilicothe. We're now at the bottom of the 9 o'clock hour. Kyle Levengood at the plate with a runner in scoring position. Very important for the Chilicothe Paints to not allow any runs here in this frame. The runner's in motion. It's a strike down to third base, and they got him. And Singer is slow to get up. He is caught stealing 2 down. The pitch was a ball just off the outside corner. Now the bases are empty. Well, credit Tony Cosentino with that one. The runner had a great jump. Cosentino threw a strike right on the bag. Right-handed batter, left-handed pitcher. This one is just off the outside corner for a 2-0 count to Kyle Levengood. Struck out his first time up, drove in a run with a ground ball in the 3rd inning. And then flied out to center field to lead off the 6th. 2-0 fastball, fouled back to the backstop. And it's now a 2-1 count. Joel Posey is in line to get the win right now if this score holds. He's 3-2 so far in the year, looking to get his 4th win. Michael Keston has lost 3 consecutive decisions. Here's a swing and a miss for a 2-2 count. Keston has lost 4 of his last 5 starts. Looking to get off the schneid here tonight. The difference is the 3rd inning. 3 runs came in on just 2 hits. 2-hit batsman and a wild pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Keston was in danger of going an inning without a strikeout, but remedied that, putting down Kyle Levengood on strike. 14 strikeouts for Keston on the night. We move to the bottom of the 8th. The Paints down by 1. 4-3 ball game. You're listening to WXIZ.
If you're looking for guaranteed savings on your next car, truck...
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Top of the 9th inning. Horizon Long Distance is the official long-distance carrier of the Chilicothe Paints, and Horizon Technology provides the internet broadcast. Call them at 772-8771. Also, Reiser Equipment is the official field equipment supplier of the Chilicothe Paints. Call them at 740-289-4318. Had 2 car giveaways by the Norse Auto Mall today. Their phone number 773-7913. They are the official automobile supplier of the Chilicothe Paints. Michael Keston on for the 9th. A fly ball to right field and out of the range of Justin Davenport, the new right fielder, all the way to the wall. This is going to be a triple. No. Holding up at second base, not taking a chance, is T. Thomas. He's got good wheels out there, but he'll hold up at second base with a double. Electing not to take any chances here when this team needs an insurance run.
Number 20 is the 3rd baseman, Jeremy Eisen.
Jeremy Eisen had a solo home run in the 2nd inning. Since then, he's struck out twice. Zach Schmidt and Steve Pickerel, the next 2 scheduled hitters after Eisen. Wind now blowing pretty stiffly out to right center field. Right-handed batter at the plate. The corner infielder's in, expecting a bunt. There it is. Keston grabs it, looks to third, instead throws to first. That is a successful sacrifice, 1-3. T. Thomas moves to third base, and Zach Schmidt comes to the plate trying to play an insurance run. Paints had a chance to tie in the 8th inning with a runner in scoring position.
Number 10 is the 2nd baseman, Zach Schmidt.
But a combination of Tim Turner and Lenny Bays got him out of that inning. Leadoff single, then a pop out on a bunt attempt. A strikeout, a stolen base, and then a ground out. The infield pulled in. Here's a strike over the outside corner. And it's 0-1 to Zach Schmidt. 0 for 3 tonight with 2 strikeouts. Steve Pickerel in the on-deck circle. And the pitcher's spot coming up in the number 9 hole. Here's the pitch inside. 1 ball and 1 strike with the off-speed pitch. Outfield straightaway and medium deep. Left-handed pitcher, right-handed batter. Keston has 14 strikeouts tonight. Suicide squeeze, but the bunt is foul. 1-2 pitch forthcoming. Well, it's easier to do with a left-handed pitcher on the mound. T. Thomas with good speed, and Mike Easler trusting his batter with the stick. 1-2 count now to Schmidt. Struck out his last 2 times up. Another strikeout here would be important for the Chilicothe Paints. Keston looks in for his sign. Now the set. Lefty wheels and deals. Strike 3. 15th strikeout for Michael Keston. That is a high for the Chilicothe Paints this season.
Steve Pickerel.
Far and away. 3 Paints have hit the 10 mark. John Martinez has struck out 10 batters in a game. Mark Hamilton struck out 11 in a game. So inside an 0-1 or 1-0 count rather to Steve Pickerel. He's 1 for 3 tonight. Single and a run scored in that big 3rd inning. Since then he flied out and struck out. Here's the pitch. Broken bat towards the shortstop. Gascon gloves it. Fires to first. In time. A 6-3 put out. And the inning is over. No runs on a hit. A man left at third. Michael when trailing after 8 innings on the air, but it just did not work out that way. They loaded him up in the 9th inning on an intentional walk to Rich Poley. Jose Rodriguez flied out to center field, and that was the end of the ball game. Michael Keston struck out 15 Florence Freedom, but a 3-run third inning was the difference in the ball game tonight. A couple of hit batsmen and a wild pitch. All in all, a very good outing for Michael Keston. Just one bad half inning, and that's all she wrote. But the Paints and Florence Freedom played an exciting ball game tonight. There's little doubt about that. The Paints and Freedom now each with a game in hand. Tomorrow will be a rubber match. And we'll have the newest member of the Chilicothe Paints, Matt Blanton. Name slipped my mind there for a second. And it's a good thing to have the pitching coach up here when you go through something like that. Ryan Sawyer is joining us now on the Budweiser post-game show. And Ryan, an exciting ball game to watch. It just didn't work out in the favor of the Chilicothe Paints tonight.
Yeah, I mean, one inning basically came back to bite the Paints and bite Michael Keston in the backside. And, you know, I mean, that's baseball. Sometimes all it takes is one inning, and they scrapped it together for one with a wild pitch with the bases loaded. And you know, a single that the guy hits to load the bases out on his front foot, just throws wood out there, and it just flares over Adrian Gascon's head at shortstop. So they put the inning together that they needed to win this ball game.
How much respect do you have to have for a hitter to walk the bases loaded in the bottom of the ninth inning with a one-run lead?
Yeah, I mean, Rich Pulley's been hitting the heck out of the ball. I think he's batting over 500 again, or he's right around that mark. So, you know, I mean, it's one of the few times in baseball where a batter's got the odds in his favor, at least statistically, when he's batting over 500, and Rich is doing just that. So it takes a lot of faith in their pitcher not to have a walk, not to have a wild pitch. They did just that. They intentionally walked the tying run to third and the winning run to second base. And you know, Jose Rodriguez got a 1-0 fastball that he could drive, and he did drive it, but he just drove it right at the center fielder, and that ended the ball game. But Rich Pulley's been swinging the bat extremely well, and he's got a lot of respect in his early Frontier League career.
Michael Keston, outside of that one inning that did come back to bite him, when he got back out there for the fourth inning after that third, he looked like Michael Keston that we have not seen in about a month now, just absolutely mowing down batters, wound up with 15 strikeouts.
Yeah, I mean, I asked Keith and Marty Dunn in the dugout after when Keston settled in and started being his old self. I asked him who the new guy was out on the mound, and you know, I joked that he was the same guy we had at the All-Star break, and we released him for a couple games, and now he's back. So, you know, if Mike comes out and pitches like that, you know, he'll continue to be one of the better pitchers in the league. It's just a shame that one inning had to come up and get him. It did just that, but he'll hopefully be right back out there 5 days from now and ready to go again with the same stuff.
Well, now the Chilicothe Paints tomorrow have a chance to win the series. Tim Turner gave up one hit in 2/3 of an inning, but no runs, and Lenny Bays came in for his third save. An inning and 2/3, he gave up one hit, walked two, and struck out 3 batters. Michael Keston gets a tough luck loss, goes to 6-7 on the year. Complete game. Gave up 4 runs on 7 hits, walked nobody, and struck out 15. It was a third inning undoing for the Chilicothe left-hander and for the Paints as a whole, as there were 2 hit batsmen and 1 wild pitch, allowing the eventual winning run to score. The game took 2 hours and 57 minutes to complete in front of 1,478 fans. Doug